He came back for her, but love had already moved on. After she left, the house felt empty. Not quiet, but empty. Every corner reminded me of her laughter, her patience, her waiting. I finally understood something too late. While I was fighting life far away, she was fighting loneliness alone. Days passed, then weeks. I tried to move on, but love doesn't disappear just because you want it to. One night, I found an old message from her on my phone. "I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes." I broke down because she had waited and I had returned as a stranger. I decided to see her, not to beg, not to force love, just to tell her the truth I never said. When I arrived, she looked stronger, calmer, different. Waiting had changed her too. "You came back," she said softly. "Yes," I replied, "and I finally know what I lost." We talked for hours about pain, about silence, about how love slowly slipped away without us noticing. "I waited for you," she said, "but I forgot to live for myself." That hurt more than rejection. I told her everything she needs to know, how I was scared, how I built walls instead of bridges, how success cost me the most important thing in my life. She listened, but listening doesn't always mean staying. Again, love didn't end, it learned how to heal. She stayed silent for a long time. Then she said softly, "I'm scared, but I still believe in us." That moment changed everything. We didn't rush love, we rebuilt it. Slow conversations, honest feelings, no more promises, only actions. Waiting had hurt her, distance had hardened me, but love taught us how to grow again. Today we don't love like before, we love better, because the strongest love is not the one that never breaks, but the one that heals. After love came back, life tested them again. Getting back together was easy, staying together wasn't. Love didn't magically fix everything. That was the first truth we learned. Coming back together wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a harder chapter. We started again slowly. No promises, no rushing. Just two people learning how to love each other without fear. Some days were beautiful. Other days were painful. She still carried the weight of waiting. I still carried the scars of distance. Sometimes a simple silence would remind her of the years I was gone. Sometimes a small argument would make me afraid of losing her again. One night she asked me a question that stopped my heart. "If life takes you far away again, will you leave?" I didn't answer immediately, because love doesn't grow on lies. "I don't know what life will bring," I said honestly, "but I know I won't disappear again." She cried, not because of pain, but because she finally felt safe. We learned something important. Love after pain is different. It is quieter, deeper, and more careful. We went to counseling. We talked when it was uncomfortable. We chose understanding over pride. Slowly, trust returned. Years later, life tested us again. Another opportunity, another possible separation. This time, we decided together. No running, no waiting alone. We didn't choose distance, we chose each other. Today, our love isn't perfect, but it is real, because real love doesn't mean never leaving, it means always finding your way back. This time, trust was tested again. Love returned to us, but fear returned with it. Trust doesn't come back all at once. It arrives slowly, carefully, like a wounded heart learning how to beat again. One evening, she noticed something small. A late night, a silent phone, a distracted smile. She didn't accuse me, she didn't shout. She simply asked, "Are you still choosing me?" That question carried all the years she waited. Old habits tried to return. I wanted to shut down, to stay quiet, to handle things alone. But love after pain requires courage, so I spoke. I explained my stress, my fears, my weakness, and for the first time, I didn't run. She confessed too. "I'm scared to trust fully," she said, "because losing you once almost destroyed me." I held her hand and realized something important. Trust isn't about perfection, it's about transparency. Life tested us again. Rumors, misunderstandings, voices from the past. But this time, we stood on the same side. We chose honesty over assumptions, conversation over silence, love over fear. Trust didn't break us, it rebuilt us stronger than before. Choosing love every day. Love isn't a one-time decision. It's a choice you make every single day. After waiting, after distance, after pain, we learned that love doesn't survive on feelings alone. It survives on effort, on showing up, on listening, on staying, especially when leaving feels easier. There were still hard days, days when the past knocked loudly, but instead of opening old wounds, we opened our hearts. One quiet night, she said something I'll never forget. "Waiting taught me patience, but loving you now taught me strength." That's when I knew this love was different, not perfect, but intentional. We stopped asking, "What if it breaks again?" and started asking, "How do we protect it?" Love didn't give us a fairy tale. It gave us something better, a real story, one built on forgiveness, growth, and choice. Some people wait for love, some people lose it, and some people fight for it every day. We chose to fight. After everything we survived, this moment would decide our forever. We walked slowly through the park as the sun sat, painting the sky in gold. Our hands were locked together, warm and familiar. So much had changed, yet somehow it still felt like home. I stopped walking. She turned to look at me, confused. My heart was racing as I took a deep breath and opened the small box in my hand. Inside was a ring. It wasn't perfect, but it was chosen with love. I looked into her eyes and said, "I left once, and it nearly cost me everything. I've made mistakes. I've learned from them, and I've grown. But loving you has never changed. Will you choose me for the rest of our lives?" She covered her mouth as tears filled her eyes. Time felt frozen. In that silence, everything came back. The goodbye at the bus stop, the long nights of waiting, the distance, the pain, and the moment love finally found its way back. Every heartbreak led us here. She nodded slowly and whispered, "Yes." I pulled her into my arms. She cried as I held her tighter. I kissed her gently and smiled, not because life would be easy, but because we chose each other. We didn't promise perfection. We promised effort. We promised honesty, and we promised to stay. Today we walk side by side, not because love never broke us, but because it healed us. Some people wait for love, some people lose it, and some people fight for it every day. We fought. We won. This is a happy ending.